Hey, what's going on, guys? Seventh Law here, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a My Hero Academia Season 3 Episode 13 review. Kind of like how I did the Dragon Ball Super reviews, where every week I'd kind of get on and I give my opinion and recap the episode. So just right before we start the video, it's going to be spoiler warning, because there's definitely going to be spoilers for episode 113 of, or not 113, but 13, season 3, episode 13 of the anime. So if you guys don't want any spoilers, click off now, and once you guys watch it, come back. And I'm just going to assume that if you stayed now, that you have seen the episode, so I'm just get right into it. So guys, episode starts off the same way the last one ended, with All Might on his knees begging to, Midoriya's mother to let him go to the UA to spend like all his time in the dorms and everything. Obviously, we saw all that last episode. My opinion on that is it definitely showed a new side of Midoriya's mother, because you know usually she's just been this worried person. She still acted worried, but in the same right, she's like, okay, like I've done a lot of bad things in my life, and this is his dream. So if his idol is telling him to go for his dream, then he needs to do it. So then she eventually just approves him on going, and All Might goes outside with Midoriya, and he just leaves after saying he'll see him and he'll take care of him and everything. So then we get to the dorms, the 1A Alliance dorms. So we get a look at the dorm building in this. If you guys go watch the episode, you'll see that. We had like an idea of what the dorms look like from the outside. It looks like it's a 4-story building with a balcony on the 3rd story, and it kind of gives me like a older, like more modern day, like something you'd see not in Japan but in like Paris or one of the older cities. It has 2 pillars going up with a triangle top, and in the middle area, so it kind of looks like it also could be a college dorm, which is kind of like the definite idea you get from this episode, is they're more going into college, because now they're living on campus of UA. Their school's right, like, just across from their dorms, and, you know, there's a lot more dorms than we actually see. So all the students arrive at the 1A Alliance dorms, and they're met by their teacher, Eraserhead, who is bashing on Tensha Ida, Kirishima, Yajirozu, Midoriya, and who was the other one that was with them on that? And and Todoroki, for going and saving Bakugo from the League of Villains. So he's saying, I mean, if All Might wouldn't have retired, I would have expelled you all from this school, except for there were 3 that he said it. He would have expelled all of them from the school. But then he's like, since All Might did retire, I'm not gonna do it. Just showing how badass Eraserhead is. And then he's just eventually, all these kids, all the 1A students are just shaking, and then he just is like, okay, I'm done. And then they just pause, and they just do nothing. And I was just like, oh my god, Eraserhead, what is he like? He's such a gimmick character. Like, he can be a badass, as we saw in the Forest training arc in the USJ incident. We saw that he could be a total badass and just take out villains, but then he has just these like comical moments when he's in the sleeping bag, when they first meet him in the first day of class, and all this other stuff that just shows that he like literally just is a gimmick character that has little to no emotion. And it usually cannot be done right with a character with no emotion. He usually isn't this funny, but they just did a really good job with him. And you know, you gotta see this in a lot more. He kind of gives you like the appearance of a lot more of the characters in anime that look like this too, which kind of got me, it just kind of made me laugh. Right after this, Bakugo grabs Kaminari and pulls him around the corner, and all you see is a big shock of electricity, and then Kaminari comes around the corner looking like an idiot because he had just used all his powers, so he's all doped out, and Bakugo comes around the corner, and he goes up to Kirishima, and he just hands him this big sack of money, and he's like, here you go, for the night vision goggles that he had bought for for when they went and saved him. And Kirishima is just like, how did you know? How did you know that we had bought these? Which completely, like, I guess Bakugo must have just, he's Bakugo. He was going to find out. It's more of just a plot thing, that was in my opinion. But he just found out he got him his money. And while this is going on, Kaminari is just going around acting like an idiot, and Jiro is just sitting there like spewing from the mouth, which is this hilarious scene. I found it hilarious. I mean, Jiro, Kaminari, I mean, I'm saying it's gonna probably happen, especially now that they're living together. Then we go up to what's his name again? We go up to Nezu, and he's looking over from the UA High, and he's looking over at 5. It looks like it's more than 5, because you can see in this panel that I have up. I'm not gonna show it on screen, but because of copyright and everything. But if you guys go watch the episode, you'll see him in his office looking out, and there's 2 sets of dorms. There's 5 rows of 2 sets of dorms, so back to back. So that's already 10 classes, and then you can see to the right there's another, it looks like there's going to be another 5 rows. So there's a bunch more classes that we haven't seen, which we already knew that there was a bunch more classes going to UA High, but class 1A and 1B, I'm guessing, are going to be the first 2 dorms stacked behind each other, then C, D, goes up, and who knows how many classes there are. Right now it's showing that I would guarantee 10, but yeah. He's just talking about the trader who might have ratted them out, that it might have been a student or it might have been a teacher, so they're just kind of keeping them there to make sure nothing bad happens, and also this is going to help them rat out the rat and essentially from the teachers or the students. So yeah, he's just establishing that, which he's already established before, that it could be a student or a teacher. Next they go into the dorms, and oh my god, Uyuraka is just going around, and this entire time, or at least for the first 5 minutes that they're in this dorm building, she's just going and she's passing out. She's like, it's like a mansion, and she's liking how much it looks so nice compared to where I guess she lived before. I guess she's just overwhelmed with how nice the building is. So you have Ida just going around following her, and he's just like, are you okay? Every time she just passes out, which was kind of a cute little thing. So then, oh my god, we have Minita. So Eraserhead establishes that there are the bathrooms and the showers are in the same area. So then Minata is just sitting there like, oh my god, the girls in the boys' bathroom, as he does, and whenever something happens, he's just sitting there like, oh my god, girls in boys' bathroom, let me do spy on the girls. So Eraserhead's just they're in separate stalls. You have 2 separate areas. So if you try to do something, you have a problem. And you're just like, yes sir, looking terrified as all hell. You guys will see in the episode, it's a hilarious scene. It made me laugh. A lot of moments in this episode that made me just kind of giggle. So next we go into their rooms. So the girls come down after the guy, they're just hanging out after they got all their stuff settled, and the girl, they're just like, hey, let's go look at their rooms. So first we have Midoriya, and they go in his room, and it's just this All Might infested, All Might stuff everywhere. They're looking around and they're just like, oh my god, it's so All Might. He's like, he's my idol, and he's looking all embarrassed and stuff. So, oh my god, it was just hilarious. So then they decided to make this competition to see who had the best room. So they're gonna go through every single room but 2, which were Bakugo and Asui were the 2 that they didn't get rooms from. So next they go into Tokoyami's room, and they go in, and it's just this satanic ritual looking things. There are purple candles lit everywhere. He has this sword that Midoriya comments on, and he just has all this satanic stuff and these devilish things, which is completely up his realm. I mean, with Dark Shadow, but I mean, he does. I guess he kind of likes to sleep in the candlelight. So Dark Shadow doesn't decide to just go into Super Dark Shadow, destroy the entire building. That would be bad. So I'm guessing that he keeps that on for the most time. Next we have Aoyama, number 1 seat in the class. Aoyama, they go into his room, and he has a disco ball, a suit of armor, a bunch of mirrors everywhere. Everything's covered in glitter. It is completely Aoyama, and oh my god, he's just sitting there doing his little pose. He's just he's so proud of his room. So next person we go to is, they go in, they're supposed to check out Minato's room. I guess they don't actually go to Minato's room, because Minato's just he sees the girls and the guys walking towards the room. He's like, yes, come to my room, yes. And then they just walk away, and they're just like, no, we're not doing that. We don't want to see what perverted things are in Minato's room. So they decide to go to the 3rd floor, because the rooms, I guess, are on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floor. You saw a little spread out in the episode 2. It kind of showed there's 3 guys' rooms on one floor and then 2 girls' rooms on one floor, so it's 3 to 2 on each floor, and then they're this, so the girls' room will be on this side and the guys' room will be on this side. So, and I guess they're in different wings, because it kind of looks like there's a window, so I guess the guys' rooms are in the middle. They explained it a lot better in the, floor plan. But yeah, they just decide to skip Minito's room, don't want to see his pervertedness. So then he goes and follows them. So they're going to the third floor. So the first room that they find on the third floor is Ojiro's room. And it's just this plain room. He's got like a TV on his dresser. He's got a nice computer stand, just a normal bed, a little table for him to sit down, and then he just has the shade. It seems like every single room has their shades, like their blinds shut for their shades, and they all have different blinds, which is kind of a cool thing. So I guess they do get a window, and they also have a like an air conditioner on top of the window, like over it, like overhanging it. And he has a clock in his, but yeah, his room wasn't anything special. Next we go to Ida's room, and Tenya Ida's room is filled to the brim with books. There are books stacked on top of books on stack of books. He has his bed. He has a reading light on his bed for him to read the books. Has a big stack of books next to his bed. He has this huge shelf of glasses because he assumes that his glasses are going to be broken in training. So he has like 50 plus glasses just hanging on his wall, a bunch of paper. It looks like he has a TV, maybe a printer for him to print out papers. But yeah, he's just this big nerd room, has all kinds of books, looks nothing like my room. And he has the he has a darker blue shed of blinds, and obviously he has a big light in the middle, and he has the air conditioner. So it looks like, yeah, the same thing's going to happen in every single room with the air conditioner and the blinds. So next we go, whose room is this? I don't remember. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is Kaminari's room. So Kaminari's room has this like purple cheetah print on the wall. He has a lot of stripes, different things going on, like I guess kind of electricity. He seemed like a very sporty kid. He had a lot of hats on his wall, a jersey on his wall, a table with some tissues, a basketball in there. So that's just something for him. His drawers have a lightning bolt on pretty much each one. He's got some different shirts hanging up, some different collectibles. So he definitely seems like a sporty type from his room. And then they go to the next room, which is Koda's room, which Koda has a bunny in his room, a bunch of animals, very green based. He has a lot of nature type things in there. He has a bed for his bunny, a food area for his bunny. I guess that's like a little treadmill for his bunny or something. He also has a desk to do homework on with binders. He also has, I guess, a picture of his family, I'd guess, on his dresser. He doesn't have a TV. Doesn't look like he has any electronics in his room. But he has that. So next they go to... whose room is this? Oh! They go to Kirishima's room. So Kirishima has a punching bag, has flames on his blinds, has this big muscular like clock thing going on. He has his desk. Rather than the traditional like dresser type thing, he's got some like storage boxes, a lot of different like I want to say like posters on his wall for like maybe wrestlers and stuff. He seemed like he's definitely more of like the bash out fighting type from this room, and he says he has certain victory over this challenge with his room. And next they go to a very bland room, which is Shoji's room. So they ask Shoji after they see he literally just like a little sit down like on the floor desk and a bed, and then some blinds. That's all he has. So then they go to the next room because there wasn't really much. I guess he has this moment with Todoroki where he asks Todoroki about like, hey, why is your room so bland? And he's like, I've always just not liked things. Like I'm just very minimalistic, which is kind of interesting because he can create more with his arms, like with his Dupla arms. So he makes more, but he doesn't like a lot. So it's pretty interesting. Next they go to this Asian style room. This Asian style room belongs to Shiro. And I mean the girl they're freaking out. They're like, it's very Asian. Like it's a very Asian cultured room. He has like the traditional Asian blinds where they have like the fold down, like you roll them up and then they fold down. He has like the changing like curtain, not the curtain thing, but like the thing you put out so you can change behind it. He has like a nice little like designs all over his wall, like a nice carpet. His bed is very Asian. He's also got a hammock in his room aside from his bed. He has like a very modern day Asian style like dresser which you pull out. Like it's not completely closed like the American style. Like as you can see right there, like they're completely closed and you pull them out. Like he has like a little thing where he can grab on the top and pull it out. Yeah, but his room was pretty interesting. The girls loved it seemed. Next we have Todoroki's room, which is a very Japanese style room where you sleep on the floor. You have your desk isn't really a sit down thing, but you kind of kneel down and do it. He has a full dresser, kind of like my full. I can't show my dresser; it's not on camera, but like a full dresser, a plant in there. He's got his blinds are like a Japanese door where you slide it. It's I guess you slide it one way or the other. I don't know how it's very usable, but he has a bunch of dressers for his clothes and stuff, I guess. He has like a little, I guess that kind of looks like a rubber band ball. Like just a very Asian type room, very simple. Next they go to, oh yeah. Okay, this is a very funny part in the episode. They go to Sato's room, and Sato's room, and they find this. It's not a very big room. Like he has kind of like installed to the wall type bed where you're like it's all the way to the ground. And there's nothing in between the ground and the bed, and he has like a nice little table for eating. He's got a desk. He's got like a little cooking thing for pots and pans. Like that's what his pantry is. He's got some oven mitts. And when they go into his room, Sato happens to be making a cake. So the girls walk in and they're like, "What smells so good?" So he pulls out this cake, and all the girls love his cake. It's apparently so fluffy and delicious, and they all love it. And that's where you really see that the girls, they completely fall for Sato's room. They love the fact that it has food, and one of them even, I think it was Uyuraka, who mentions, "Oh my god, you have such an amazing hobby. I love your hobby so much." So now we're going on to the girls' room. So the first girls' room that we go and look at is Jiro's room, and it's this punk rock tomboy room. She has Deep Dope wrote on her wall. She has a bunch of instruments. She has a keyboard, 2 guitars, a drum kit, and they're all just like, "Oh my god, can you play all of these?" And she's like, "Oh, I can play a little of all of them." And I mean, she has this like backpack, keyboards everywhere, just a bunch of rock stuff, and then she has like a filing cabinet for all her music, all different kinds of pieces on her wall. So it's a very music inspired room, and I'm a music guy, so I really liked it. She has speakers and stuff too, like these huge speakers. So hopefully, she didn't decide at the middle of the night that she's gonna play some guitar, because that's gonna rock the entire building there. It looks like. Next is whose room is this? Oh, wait, whose room is this? I'm confused. Wait, to go to the next one. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah. This is Hagakuri's room, right? The Invisible Girl. This is the Invisible Girl's room, and she just has a very very girly pink, very pink room. A bunch of stuffed animals everywhere. A desk. Again, the pillow. A very modern Asian type drawers. Yeah, but that's pretty much it for her room. I mean, they didn't really show much of it because she's invisible. Next, we have Ashido's room, who is definitely a pink zebra, hot pink zebra type girl. She has like a very Paris, France type clothing all over her room. Hot pink and black is everywhere. A bunch of zebra dots, a bunch of different patterns, which was very interesting. She has some hero on her wall, it looks like. I don't know who that could be. Next we have Uyuraka's room, who's very simple. It definitely just looks like a basic room that you'd find anywhere. She just has a TV, a little desk for like, she has tea and like crumpets and stuff, like a little just cactus plant, a picture of her family probably, a desk, and a bed pretty much. And then she just has like a little random poster on her wall for something she probably likes. Oh god, next we have Yaoyorozu's room. Yaoyorozu's room, she just is bringing her rich princess life into it. She has a huge bed. Everything in her room is huge. There's barely any room to even move around. And she's like, "Well, I thought the room would be bigger." Like, she's been so used to having a huge room her entire life. When she gets compact, and each one of these rooms is about the same size as my room. So she gets down to this compact room, and she just has everything crammed. I don't know if she decided to bring a bed rather than just buying a new one, because we all know she could. Or she could have just made a bed. She's made huge things before. I mean, if she had time, she could have made everything in her room. I mean, I guess if she ever wants to make anything in her room or just wants to cramp anything down, she's just got to take it apart and do it. And then she's all embarrassed. Next, now that all the rooms were done, because they didn't show Asui's, Minita, or Bakugo's room, they decide the winner. So they all vote on a winner. They're in the common area for everyone. Everyone's sitting there except for Asui and Bakugo, and she's like, "Okay," and the winner ends up being why am I already forgetting who the winner was? The winner was Sato. Sato was the winner because of his cake. His cake won over all the girls, and all the girls, they cut off to a panel after they say he's the winner, and all the girls are like, "Oh my god, your cake was so good. Oh my god." And so then everyone's congratulating Sato, and Uraraka looks and she's like, "Hey, Ida, Ida, I need Ida, Todoroki, Yaoyorozu, Midoriya, and Kirishima," and they go outside, and no one else is waiting. Or the only one that's waiting there is Asui, and Asui. This actually caught me in the feels, and I felt horrible while watching this because of exactly this. Asui's sitting outside, crying, saying, going back to what she said in the hospital, where she was like, "Guys, I told you," like when she was like, "If you do this, you're no better than the villain," and she's like, I saw you guys didn't do it, and but then when Eraser had said you had done it, like she just was like, "How could you guys like break my trust like that?" And Ida, Ida, Yaoyorozu, and Kirishima all go around and they're like hugging her and they're like, "Oh my god, we're so sorry, we'll never do it again." Todoroki even, like, he's just standing in the background because he's Todoroki, and what else does he even do? He's just standing in the background and he's just like, "Yeah, sorry, I'm very sorry." Like, he even feels bad about it. And then you get like this little dialogue from Midoriya where he's like, we betrayed our friend, how could we do this? And then you cut to the credits, and that is the episode. So obviously, with all these kids that are friends already living together, there's already been one drama thing with Asui crying about it and hitting everybody in the field about it, because you can really feel the thing that this anime does great is when there's an emotional scene, you get the emotional scene from the anime, so you really feel Asui's pain. And I was even like tearing up a little when watching the episode, because it was so hard to watch because she was so upset and you can see it. And that's why he's such a great writer when writing this, because he can really put emotion into it. And so I'm gonna make a theory that there's gonna be a lot more that happens, because I haven't read ahead in the manga at all. I only read the manga ahead for the next episode that we're gonna watch to see what the differences are. There wasn't a lot of differences in this one. I mean, you spent a little bit more time and there was a little more detail in each room, but it's pretty much it. But yeah, so I'm gonna guess there's gonna be a lot more drama, and we're gonna get to know a lot more about each and every character. I mean, we already got like a look at everyone's personality. Expect us, the Invisible Girl. We got a lot more in this episode for her. We didn't know a lot about her, but now we know she's basically like a really basic girl, and that because we really don't get to see anything about her because she's invisible, so we can't really tell by her appearance what she might be like. And obviously we get a lot more about her. And Sato with his cooking thing, we get to learn a lot more about that. I mean, Koda, we could have really expected that. Ojiro doesn't really surprise me that he had a very basic room. I mean, he has a tail. Shoji, again, not very surprising on that one. Jiro, we kind of got to look at that when we saw her in the last episode with her family when they went to go visit her. Uraraka, we got a lot more basis on how simple she may be as a character, which might say more about her in the future of the episode. I mean, Ida, are we really surprised by Ida or Yaoyorozu? I mean, either of those you could have guessed that they would have been the same way they were in the episode. Aoyama didn't catch me by surprise at all. It was hilarious. I found that as a very interesting. Him and Mineta were the best parts of this episode. And Bakugo, we do see a scene of his room. We only see a top-down view of him laying in bed. He's just kind of laying there, because I guess he's kind of just thinking. I feel like he's been doing a lot of thinking, and I think he might come out more in this arc because now he's living with everyone. It might just start with Kirishima and Kaminari, because those seem like the people he's closest with, especially with Kirishima. He might start hanging out with him, and obviously with Kirishima hanging out with Todoroki and Midoriya and Tokoyami and all on in Ida. I mean, you might get that aesthetic appeal. The people that seem like they might be a little bit outcasts in this arc, maybe Ojiro, Shoji, maybe Sato and Koda. I mean, I think they might make their own group, because there are like the main crew that do hang out, and then I think all the girls are friends. I think the girls will have their thing going. I think that we'll see a lot of gossip scenes with them if we do continue on the arc of this arc where we're seeing their rooms. If we continue in this area and don't go back to class next week, I think we're going to see a lot more of the drama if he does another filler episode. I'm going to be looking ahead in the manga tomorrow, so I have an idea of what I'm going to get for next Saturday. So guys, I'll be back next Saturday for episode 114 of My Hero Academia. I'll be doing a review for that too. I'm hoping we stay in the dorms, get a little bit more there, and get a little more of an idea of the characters, go more in depth with them, some more of that. And otherwise, we're going to go into the classroom and we're going to go into the provisional license exam, which he mentioned in the beginning of the episode, which should be very interesting. The provisional license exam, I've heard, is a really good arc. So I mean, he did say that they were supposed to get those during the forest training arc, but obviously something happened there. So who knows if something's going to happen during the provisional license exam? Who knows what's going to happen overall in the next arc? I'm very excited to see. I think there might be a new hero. We might meet some new students. We might meet Class 1C, a bunch of the other classes. Because we might run into a lot more characters now that they're living in this compact area. And especially if there's 20 dorms of students there. I mean, it should be very interesting. Well, guys, that's all I have to say about this episode. It's already a very long review. That's going to be it for me, guys, and peace.